let's go on.
Night Mayhem while we wait for Mr. Australian Top Team Suman Mukhtaran to be on.
Hey Mo, how's it going? I'm pretty excited, but I'm also pretty exhausted. So I'm doing great, mate. Good balance.
Uh, of, of
Most of the guys.
you don't know much about me. Uh,
Well, first of all, it's unique because it comes from San Francisco, one of our 10th Planet Purple Belts. He's probably well on his way to being a brown belt, no doubt at this stage. Ben Eddy, a friend of mine as well, trained with him on my last trip in LA earlier, just before I met Morris in March. And what it basically is, if you understand the rubber guard system, you know how you go mission control. So you basically got your right hand around your left ankle, right? And what we do then is we isolate their right arm. So we zombie and bring their hand to the mat. And what we do now is we're in a position called New York.
New York.
Now you can have the hand on the mat or you can have the hand on the chest. It's up to you. But if you get the hand on the mat, it makes things a little bit easier. And what you do is you reach over the top of your left ankle. So imagine I'm grabbing my left ankle with my right wrist at the moment.
Mhm.
Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit up and I'm going to put my left hand over the top of my left ankle, over the top. Okay, so my left elbow is on top of my left upper shin. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Okay, and now what he does, he changes hands now. So that's the meat hook. When you've got the left arm over the shin, that's the meat hook. And now what you do is you replace that left arm with your right arm. And you've got to have a lot of flexibility here. And you bring the right arm over the top of the ankle, and then you go underneath the neck. Then what you do is you bring your left hand in and you cinch your hands together, and there's the Hindullotine. So the Hindu control is when you have the right hand pummeled over the top of the ankle, fingers down and elbow up. And the Hindullotine is when you connect your hands for the actual guillotine with the leg. So it's Hindu Control to Hindullotine by Ben Eddy. That's basically it.
how hard is it to pull off in, let's say, in a regular MMA match?
It wouldn't be difficult because there's so many things going for you. Number one, the posture's broken. Number two, the hands are separated and isolated. Number three, the neck has got enormous pressure, so there's no posture at all. Number four, that left arm, if you want to start messing around with that left arm and throw punches, man, you're going to get put in a triangle immediately because that's not the only finish from Hindu control rather. There's also the triangle setups that Ben Eddy has developed as well. And our 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu, man, it's always evolving and there's a lot of talent in our association, and that's one of the major reasons why I just love it, man. It's never a dull moment in the 10 Planet system, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. When I saw it, I was like freaking out. Like I've never seen such duality.
in before my
Yeah. But you got to also keep in mind, Mohammed, that it's early days, So Ben Eddy's been hitting this for a while, and we've got some other boys over in LA hitting this, going to it regularly. So it is not under development per se because Ben Eddy's got it down, but a lot of other people are starting to look at it, man, and it's pretty high percentage for Ben Eddy. He submitted 2 people at EBI with it, don't forget. So he got 2 major scalps at EBI. I think he made it to the quarterfinals, if I'm not mistaken, or the semifinals, maybe, before he lost. But definitely Ben Eddy, man. He's remember that name. He's a beast. He's so good. He's got a great wrestling background. Trains with Denny Prokopos over in San Francisco. He spent the last almost 3 months training at HQ with Eddie. Man, this boy's really coming along quickly.
I heard one of the 10 Planet soldiers have gloves.
Yes, triple overtime. Yes, my good friend Gio Freakazoid Martinez, Giovanni Martinez, one of the Martinez brothers. So his older brother is Richie Martinez, who is a boogeyman. He's got actually an MMA fight coming up. He's got a really good record, and his jiu-jitsu record is amazing. And they both fought on this card. Richie fought at the 170 division. And lost. Gary Tonin beat him, but Gio, he went right through to the end, and he beat, as you said, Jeff Glover with triple overtime. Submission only, baby. Submission only. That's what we want. That's the result we get, man. We love that format. And it was such an exciting card, my God. I mean, I was lucky enough to, a friend of mine called me on FaceTime, and I actually drove to the dojo, taught my classes, drove home, and picked up my kids and watched the entire event live. I was streamed live to me personally.
All right, man.
Mm,
All right. Okay, I'll try and make this brief. Granklife, basically in our association, all the major heads of the major affiliates worldwide, and there's 53 of us, we're all on a special list that we communicate with daily. Eddie Bravo is a very intelligent man, and he's brought us all together, and we're tired as hell because of it. And, we banter on there every day, whether it's, technique or questions about business or, like events or UFC results or jiu-jitsu results and whatnot, like EBI and EBR and, certain things like that. We all communicate. And basically, I got the nickname from the forum. And basically, I think one of my friends hit the G key instead of the F key, and it sent the word Grank. So as soon as the boys saw that, as soon as I saw it on the screen, I was like, oh, here we go. And as soon as I thought that, like a whole bunch of them just jumped on. It was like, Grank, hashtag Granklife, blah, blah, blah. And the way that Granklife come about was basically I seem to not sleep. So as I am now, right now, it's like 20 to 11 in Melbourne, and I'm doing this podcast again, which I love every Monday. But I seem to have gone on that list like all the time. I hardly ever slept. So, and my total dedication and devotion to 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu was obviously something that some of the boys, appreciate and they see in me, and that, determination and that commitment and that undying loyalty and whatnot. So they kind of coined the name Granklife, if you know what I'm trying to say. So if anyone was, doing that kind of thing and pushing hard, it was kind of considered Granklife, that kind of thing. So, on a small scale between us. So it wasn't anything big. But our good friend Brandon McCaffrey, who is a talented musician and singer-songwriter, and who's actually an incredibly talented brown belt in our system, who runs a school, 10th Planet Decatur, he came up with some lines, a tune and an incredible bridge. That's not a knife, this is a knife. That was, as you know, that's one of the greatest lines in Australian movie history. With like Paul Hogan in Crocodile Dundee in that scene, and it seemed to go perfect. So when they released the song, I just couldn't believe it. So it doesn't really make sense to most people, but for the people that know me pretty well, it has a few jokes in there about my incredible size as a human being. So they have a lot of digs at me, but I love it, man. It's all, and there's also it's really funny because you're gonna have to listen to it. Maybe you should play it for the fans.
All right, all right. I'll play.
okay, with a friend. Hold on.
Just play the chorus, man. It's pretty funny. Or play. You know what? Play the first intro, first chorus, and then we'll go forward to the bridge. It's pretty funny.
Can you hear it now?
Nah, man, I can't hear anything. Are you playing it on YouTube? Are you?
No, I'm playing it on.
Why can't I hear it?
No, bro.
Anyway, listen, don't worry about it, man. You don't have to play it. It's cool. But anyway, if anyone would like to listen to the song Granklife, which is, I can't believe that anybody would write a song about me. That's just, but anyway, also another thing too is because I do a bit of traveling and I take a lot of photos, and I like to include all my students and my family and what I'm doing. So that's kind of a big part of Granklife, I guess. So, but I don't want it to sound silly or anything about anything else. It's just a bit of fun, and it makes me pretty happy to know the boys, can have a joke with me and do something like that, and they're really talented, so they put it together. So it's not a real big deal, but it's pretty fun thinking about it, and I really appreciate it. So that's basically it, Granklife. So I'll send you a T-shirt, okay?
And wow, you now have a merchandise for Granklife now.
Yeah, something like that. But it's fun, man. It's fun. Look, one of the incredible things about being in the 10th Planet system is that it's about combat, no doubt about that. It's about culture. There's no doubt about that. And it's definitely about comedy, you know what I mean? It's definitely about having a good time and enjoying life and appreciating, and being grateful for all the things in your life all the time, you know. So rather than instead of looking in the future to be happy, it's enjoying every second right now, right, Muhammad?
Yes, it's true, man.
You know, and that's the thing about, you know, the whole 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu thing, man. It's comedy culture and combat. It brings us all together in different ways, and you can come in from any angle and still be accepted, and everybody will, you know, will appreciate you and listen to you and be friends with you, and, you know, listen to your story, and it's just a beautiful thing, man. Dude, I'm the luckiest man in the world. I think I've said that about 4 billion times now, so maybe I should trademark it or register it or something.
Yeah, talking about comedy.
Ah, dude, are you kidding? Oh, that was hilarious. Oh my God, that was so funny. What about the Incredible Rock? Did you see that?
On as well. Oh my god.
Dude, he makes a cameo appearance. Oh man, that's so funny. Dude, that is really, really funny. Oh, did you see that picture on Facebook? Keith Swatch.
Yeah, yeah.
Muhammad, that's funny, man. It's so hilarious. Oh my God, it's so funny. Yeah, man.
Yeah, he's trying
Yeah.
to be a good sport, but I don't know, man. He came off more as a dumbass of the show. I actually,
Uh, yeah. Look, I mean, I understand you can look at it like that, but look, man, it was really funny, man. There was a couple of really tense moments in there, I tell you. I love the picture of him laying down on his side, surrounded by fruit. I thought in his gi. I mean, have you seen that ad he does? Have you seen that ad he does now? That little commercial for oh, what is it? That betting company. What is it?
I don't know. I haven't
Do you
seen
remember?
it.
He's standing there with his laptop and he's got his smoking jacket on. Like it looks like a
Oh,
Hugh Hefner.
the count.
Or something.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Have you seen it? Oh my God, it's so funny. He's so smooth, man. Renato Arancha is so smooth. Oh my God, he could turn me. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I'm hearing you quite well. So, moving on to serious stuff. Eddie Bravo came on to Australia. Tell me a little.
Oh my God. Okay, Eddie Bravo, man. 2014 tour down under. This is the fourth year in a row. Actually, this is the fourth time in 3 years. We actually bring him out every 9 months. So um, it was incredible. We picked him up Friday, spent the day together, just breaking things down and just talking about just different things that are happening in the association, where we're heading, where we're going, and having a lot of fun along the way. And we went down to the dojo Friday night. We had a roll with my students, and it was packed. My kids had a chance to roll with him, and if you go to my Facebook page, you'll see all those photos. I whacked them all up today. So any of you fans out there want to hit me up on Facebook, you can see some of those photos, man. They're worth looking at. They're just awesome. And so the gang rolled with Eddie Friday night. It was beautiful to train with him, and then Saturday was the seminar. So we had some schools representing coming to the dojo. It was awesome to see. Nemesis showed up, Sunbury, BJJ showed up as well. All my students from around Australia came, Tassie and South Australia and regional Victoria and through Goulburn Valley. Martial arts rocked up as well. Plus, all my guys. It was awesome. 3 hours. We covered, new tweaks of the twister. We covered, some new positions from dogfight, little adjustments just to make us more dangerous and more high percentage in those clinches. It was just incredible. And then we left Saturday afternoon, 7 o'clock flight out to Sydney, and where we met the top dog of KMA martial arts, Fari Selievsky, picked us up. Always gives us red carpet treatment. That guy's a class act. And of course, my good friend Kelly Safe was there as well. And oh man, me, Kelly, Fari, and Eddie hanging out. It was just, oh man, it was just awesome. So we chilled out Saturday night, grabbed a couple of drinks. It was just beautiful, man. Just caught up and talked about the game and where we are in life, I guess. And then Sunday we headed over to KMA headquarters, and we had seminar there for Fari's group, and we had about 69, 70 people there. We had about 65 at my place. It was awesome, man. So many, great people hanging out and open-minded people and working jiu-jitsu, and to see no-gi grappling so alive and well in Australia is just makes me feel amazing. So it's worth the fight, when you see it slowly growing, gradually, little by little, and you finally get to those moments where you can share them with your mates. And Eddie's one of my great mates, mate. So I was hugely, hugely blessed to be there. And of course, Eddie flew out this morning. I flew home. He's gone back to LA, so he'll be landing in a few hours, I guess. But Eddie Bravo, man, there's a guy that's a workaholic. He doesn't stop. He's an awesome leader, and it was just an absolute honor hanging out with him, man. I learned so much from that guy, and especially, he uses me a lot as his crash test dummy, in his demonstrations, and, man, he really puts me in a world of pain. But I tell you what, man, when you feel him put you in those positions, you learn a lot, your senses pick up what he's doing, not only your eyes and your ears. Does that make sense?
Yeah, man. I understand.
Eddie, man, I mean, shit, man, we've been together nearly 8 years, so it's awesome. Every year that goes by, we go from strength to strength. It's a beautiful thing. I hope, honestly, I hope all jiu-jitsu students out there in the world, gi, no gi, whatever, I hope every martial arts student out there in the world has that connection and that feeling with their teacher that I have with Eddie. I've had it with a lot of my instructors, Sensei Patrick McCarthy as well, and it goes on and on. But with Eddie, it's a special kind of thing. We're about the same age. We're 6 months apart. We're into a lot of things. We share a lot of common interests, and he's an absolute legend and a superstar. And it's great just having a person like that in your corner. You know what I mean, Mohammed?
Yep.
To
I've
have
I've
that-
seen pictures of you.
You rolling with Eddie.
So any interesting stories that happened last week?
Oh, yeah, other than me getting absolutely destroyed by him, other than that, what am I going to tell you? It's the chain of command, right?
Yeah.
Man, in jiu-jitsu, Muhammad, as you know, you're probably experiencing this. I'm sure you're doing some jiu-jitsu getting ready for this fight, but one thing's for sure, in 10 planet jiu-jitsu, we're pressure tested all the time, and you got to find a way to stay on that mat. And even if you get injured or you're compromised in some way physically, you got to try and find your way back on that mat. Don't focus on what's not working, but focus on what does work. You know what I mean? And what is still functional and healthy, and in a safe way, of course. And you need to be on the mat, man. You can't in Brazilian jiu-jitsu, man, you can't hide. You know what I mean? You can't hide behind a desk.
True, man.
It's right in your face, man. And rank, it's funny, rank, responsibility, it's an obligation. It's a powerful thing. A lot of us understand this. I mean, you don't have to just do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to appreciate that either. I mean, I learned this a long time ago, that with rank comes the weight of responsibility and obligation on you. Like, you've got to represent that. You got to honor it. You have to make sure that you're stepping on that mat and you understand exactly that you need to defend it. You know what I mean? It's like a belt. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah, I understand.
it's like a UFC title. Every day you go on that mat, someone's trying to take it.
Exactly, man. Exactly.
It's not for everybody. It's not for everybody, but everybody can do it. It's not for everyone. But, man, you don't have to be, jiu-jitsu, man. You don't have to be an athlete. You don't have to have potential. You don't have to be talented. You don't have to come from a wrestling background. You don't have to come from gymnastics all your life. Man, you can just be a regular person, just walking in, wanting to get fit and learn how to, squeeze a neck. Just in case, you get home early and someone's attacking your girlfriend or something, man, you can do something to defend them. Or what about your kid, just to be able to defend your kid? Anyone can learn it. It's a systematized, structured practice. Anybody can learn it, man. And within a short amount of time, you can be dangerous as hell. I mean, I'm sure just with the training you've done in a short period of time, Muhammad, look how much your game has stepped up just by just being consistent and practicing, right?
Exactly, man.
Yeah. So, I mean, for those lucky like myself that have been able to take it to the next level and go, okay, I want to open a school. I want to share my experience, and you see these people walk in and you see them come in as total beginners, total, like, almost afraid, and then they go through the system and it's structured and they work on their drills, they work on their agility, their flexibility, dexterity, explosiveness, balance. They work on their cardio, they work on their strength, they work on their strategy, they work on their tactics. We introduce them slowly through drilling and through practice, and through warm-ups and specific scenarios and live sessions, and we put them through swamp walking and dead zones to develop polishing finishes and submissions. We go through seasons like season of the sweep, season of uh, uh, the pass, season of the squeeze. We take them through a structured program to develop all areas of no-gi grappling to the highest levels, and you can take it as a way of staying in shape and having the confidence to protect yourself, or you can take it to the heights of athleticism and compete at the highest levels and represent your country, or be world ranked, or translate it directly to MMA and go straight into some competition and testing yourself. And you know what I mean? Like, it's something there, Muhammad, for everyone. And just because one man doesn't want to be an MMA fighter, it doesn't mean he's any less of a man if he chooses to stay in jiu-jitsu alone, because he has a love for squeezing necks and wrecking ankles and knee joints. You know what I mean?
Exactly, man. And there were times when I see you, 10 Planet.
Absolutely. I mean, don't forget, 10 Planet Jiu-Jitsu is designed. Eddie's goal was to make what jiu-jitsu looks like in MMA, to improve it, to improve the way jiu-jitsu looks in MMA. So it's all about clinching and squeezing, because if I'm clinching and squeezing, Muhammad, you can't punch me. If you've got full guard on you, if I pull full guard on you, let's say I can't strike with you, can't take you down. You beat me standing, you beat me I can't take your ass down. Now I'm going to pull guard, but I've got to control your posture so you can't rain down punches and elbows on me. So every position we have in our system, it comes from a clinch and a squeeze. So the ability of the opposition to be able to rain down elbows or punches in those positions is rendered pretty much useless. I mean, look, we all make mistakes. People are good. People are talented. Look at Uriah Faber, how he throws those elbows in full guard. But I got to tell you that risk control ain't gonna survive. But if you go mission control on Uriah Faber, man, you got a fucking chance now. But if you're playing risk control on someone like Uriah Faber throwing those elbows down, you got no chance. So we know that the 10 planet system has been designed specifically with punches and elbows. So you gotta think of that. And some schools don't. You don't have to strike in jiu-jitsu, but as long as you're aware that the person can punch you there, as long as you understand that when you're clinching from dogfight and you're hiding your head and you're pinching that left ear inside that right shoulder joint tightly, if they choose to try and uppercut you with that left arm, man, they're getting swept. And if they choose to let go of that whizzer, you're going to the back. So either way, that perfect position is designed against someone who wants to punch you in the face. Can you imagine being in a position where you want the person to punch you in the face? That's hilarious. That's hilarious. But Muhammad, the trick is it takes a while. It takes time. It takes reps. It takes dedication. You're going to have to want it so badly, because it's going to fail a little while at the start, and they're going to pull that arm, that right arm out off the mat, and they're going to start swinging again, and then you might get tagged a couple of times, and then you're going to get better at breaking them down, and then your timing's going to improve, and then when they start sitting up, you're going to sit up with them automatically. Now they're running. Now they're getting frantic. Now you're building anxiety. Now you're starting to psychologically play the game of the mind. Now you start to feel them get weak and broken. Now you start to smell blood and you go for the kill. So that's a guard that takes a while, Muhammad, to develop, no?
Yeah, that's true, man.
just um, legit review.
Mm-hmm.
But once you master it, you could.
Oh, Gracie, I think Gracie Gundrum or Gunundrum. I'm not sure her surname pronunciation. My apologies, Gracie. If anybody hears this that knows Gracie, please don't be offended. And Cora Sek. I mean, have you seen Cora Sek, that little Asian girl that is from I'm not sure. I think she's from Texas. I think she is. She is unbelievable. Like 12 years old, just wrecked. boys, just wrecking them. And her rubber guard is advanced. It is super, super advanced. She's really, really impressive, man. And we just love people like that, just throwing up videos of rubber guard and how effective the system is. You know, it's just beautiful, man. I mean, my kids love jiu-jitsu, dude. My kids, I got a 13-year-old boy, Andre, and a 12-year-old girl, Caprice. They love jiu-jitsu, man. They just can't get enough. It's incredible. You know, it's just awesome. And, you know, especially for kids, you know, against punches in a schoolyard. I mean, isn't it great to have a really good clinch on the ground as a kid? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's so important. It's amazing. It's amazing. My son, talk about bully-proofing. My son, on his first 2 weeks.
Hello.
Are you there, Mohammed?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, sorry, there's a bit of interference. Yeah, just real quick, my son Andre is doing year 7 at school this year, and in the first couple of weeks, he went 14-0 in wrestling on the oval. You know,
Wow.
yeah, I mean, no one's bothered him since. You know what I mean?
Nah, it's only a
Man, I'm telling you. I got one kid at my school, Omar. He's 13. He's a beast. He's 14 actually, and he's a strong kid, and he gets everybody in a headlock. And man, let me tell you, when he does that, he can get away with it with the little smaller kids. But mate, when he comes up against some boys that know what's up, they put him in an armbar every single time. So that classic headlock where they drag you to the ground and squeeze your neck and everyone gives up, man, you do that to some of the kids at my school, you're gonna get your arm ripped off. It's a beautiful thing, man. I mean, self-defense for kids, you know, jiu-jitsu for kids, especially girls. I mean, please, if any girls are listening out there and you're wondering, listen, just go to a jiu-jitsu school. I don't care if it's, like Eddie says, it doesn't have to be 10th Planet. I mean, if you've got a 10th Planet school near you or an affiliate, man, please go there. That's the only place I would recommend to go, no gi. But if you can't find that, man, you can just go to Eddie's website, MTS for $5 a month. Eddie's showing you what he's teaching every 2 weeks at headquarters and breaking it down by the master himself for $5 a month. Oh my God, that's like a coffee. That's nothing. That's nothing. So if you're out there and you're wondering what to do, man, you can just go on Eddie's website, 10planetjj.com, click on store, buy everything on there. You can buy DVDs, videos, books, rash guards, t-shirts, hoodies, training equipment. Man, there's a forum. You can ask questions, introduce yourself. I'm on there. A lot of 10th Planet generals are on there. Eddie's on there regularly. There are ways to go around it if you don't have a 10th Planet school near you. Or at the very least, um, just go to a Brazilian jiu-jitsu school, man, and just start learning. You know, girls, please get over the body on body thing, man. It can save your life. You come home early one day after school and someone's attacking your mom or your sister or your little brother or something, man, you want to know you can jump on that person's back and just choke them out and not even hurt them and call the cops, and you'll be a hero, and, you know, you'll be popular and you'll have girlfriends and boyfriends forever. You know what I mean? It's a beautiful thing.
yeah, man. That's true, man. Because actually,
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
what do you have?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm heading up to Brisbane. So if anyone's listening and hears this from Brisbane, I'm teaching a 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu seminar on the 21st of June. I think it's Australian Combat Academy. Jason down there is running the show down there. I think he's got like a Krav Maga school. And a few MMA people are showing up too. I think Shauna Carew is going to be showing up, making an appearance to hang out with us. So that's going to be huge. So I'm sure a lot of people are going to be there, and it's going to be awesome. So just hit up, you know what, if you hit me up on my Facebook page, contact me there, inbox me. I'll point you in the right direction. Anyone in Brisbane, 21st of June, 21st of June in Brendale. I think it's Brendale or Brindale in Brisbane. So hit me up on my Facebook page, Frank Barca, Barca, for details. Or you can go to our website, 10thplanetjjmelbourne.com for details.
So, man, all right, man. I'll see you next week. Hopefully, you watch.
Or some UFC. Oh no.
Beautiful, Mo. Hey, listen, I just want to say, too, I think we're good for the 30th, brother. So I think for all the people that have been waiting in anticipation for the announcement of the date and the time of our July 30 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu seminar in Singapore. I think we can start making some plans there, Mo. So I'll hit you up during the week, bro, and we'll talk a little more about it and get that all in concrete.
Oh, that's awesome. Been waiting for.
I know, man. Me too. But but it's okay. Rebel FC are busy as well, and they just got back to me recently saying, look, it shouldn't be a problem. So we'll talk during the week, and hopefully we can get it all organized.
All right, man. And you have to come back next week. I will have footage of fight, and you have to bring.
Oh, good luck, my brother. Listen, hey, listen, Mo. Just on that. Listen, move around, please move. All right, get your jab going. Just throw it in his face. Just keep throwing that jab, and be like, think like TJ Dillashaw. TJ Dillashaw, where he's kind of throwing feints and throwing that jab, and then moving around and throwing some leg kicks. Just stay on the outside and then pick your moment. And then I think you'll do just fine, bro. I'm looking forward to the result, I'm sure. But remember, hands up, chin down, get that jab working, circle around, make yourself elusive, make yourself hard to hit. I think that's a problem for anybody, at least in the first 2 minutes, right?
Yep. Exactly, man. Then I'll pull rubber guard.
Oh, dude, that's my shit right there, bro. From the carny to the goggle, man. I've been hitting that a lot lately. From the carny to the goggle platter, because when you straighten them out with the carny, they forget about their neck, and I flip that foot because it's already in front of their face. Now all of a sudden they start lifting their chin to pull their right arm out, and then what I do is I throw my left hand, and I grab my foot, and then boom, I start activating that I start pushing my foot down to the ground, and that brings my forearm across the back of their neck and applying the choke, and they start turning all shades of purple, bro. It's awesome.
I'll try to pull that one off.
That's a knife. This is a knife. Check it out, man. Check it out. Granklife on SoundCloud. Check it out. It's awesome. Thanks, Mo. You're a star. Okay, and thanks guys for listening. I really appreciate the support. It's been awesome. Catch you guys soon. Thank you.
Bye, Frank. All right, guys. Frank is out. I've been trying to contact Mr. Suman. It seems that he's not on. And if Suman doesn't pick my call, I'll have to go on forward with the show and not talk about UFC and straight away talk about the Malaysian scene with Nik Harris. Nik Harris have been waiting in line. Let's hope Mr. Suman picks up his call. And while you guys are listening, we from the fight scene, we have already produced an article for F3. F3, basically the birthplace of new Malaysian prospects. Just read it up. There are two guys I'm telling you worth it to watch on the scene. And of course, our countdown to beatdown series featuring Nico Sonate from Impact MMA, who's gonna fight Yadwinder Singh from Evolution Mumbai, India. And it's gonna be an exciting fight. Ultimate beatdown, 5 more days. I'll be on fighting as well. And Suman's not picking up my call, so I'm gonna get Nik Harris on. Yeah, and talking about Nik Harris, who just won spectacularly in his 1FC fight. He was on F3 doing MCing and commentating, and after the first fight, he just kind of, Waddy, you gotta help me do some co-commentating. So I was co-commentating with Nik for the next 23 fights, and it was exhausting, but it was fun. Nik Harris especially, I'm telling you, this guy is just so fun to be with. You look at this picture right there. A brand new F3 Ringle Nik Harris. Sexy as fuck. Yeah, and I was...
Hello. Hello, hi. I'm good. I'm enjoying a nice, just enjoyed a nice nice bottle of whiskey. Yeah.
I don't think Malaysia...
Well, who gives a shit, right? Who gives a fuck? Well, I can't. It's actually loading at the moment. Let me just close everything. Because I was actually watching South Park, so that's why I couldn't hear everything. So yeah, I got to turn my video off. Hello?
Well, yeah. Well, we were waiting for Nick to.
Well, I can actually. I can't. I don't see anything. No, except the swirly loading thingy. You know, the thing that goes. Zoom, zoom.
Anyways, I'm.
Oh, which one? Which one? Which one? Which one is it? Was it? Oh shit! Oh no! Fuck my life. Why? Why we gotta share this kind of shit? You know, we've gotta make an agreement. Anytime Nik Harris does a silly photo or a silly pose or says something silly, it has to be edited edited properly to make me look good. You know what I mean? Jesus Christ. This ain't fair, man. I mean, like, I'm already known in Malaysian MMA as the joke as the joking guy, the guy that loves to joke around, that loves to enjoy himself in fights and stuff, and yeah, solidify that a bit more, yeah.
All right, I was supposed to talk UFC with Suman, but Suman, I'm not too sure. I don't think you watch UFC.
I didn't watch the UFC, but I did hear about the results. Bendo submitted somebody, right?
Submitted some Khabilov.
Yeah, that's the thing. I didn't expect that coming. I think the UFC must be pissed because of the fact that he submitted Rustam Khabilov.
Why should you?
Well, if you realize something, Bendo isn't exactly the champion. He is the champion that nobody knows of. He's a champion. Sorry, he's a contender for the championship that nobody gives a shit about. If you think about it. Why do you think that's such? I mean, he's a boring fighter. I mean, out of all his if you realize majority of his decisions come by way of split decision, am I right?
That's true. Yeah,
And
that was it.
exactly, that's the thing. He's not a finisher. He's not a Jimmy Hendrix. He's not a Johnny Hendrix. He's not a Robbie Lawler. He is not. He is not the lightweights like Diego Sanchez or Gilbert Melendez that people like to see. You know what I mean? He's a boring guy. He's gonna keep you on the ground and he's gonna rape you and try to submit you. And failing in submitting you, he's just gonna keep you down on the ground. So I don't know. I'm trying my best because it is a fight business at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And when you become known as a boring fighter, right? A lot of the big wigs will just throw you out the window.
Well, in a way, man. I'm not too sure if you saw Sanchez with Ross Pearson. Ross Pearson got robbed.
Yeah, I heard that was a daylight robbery. I even looked it up on Fight Metric.
Uh-huh.
Heard that Ross Pearson outlanded him, outclassed him.
Yeah, exactly.
Did everything, but that's the thing. Here's the thing. The UFC loves a guy like Diego Sanchez. Okay? And that
And
day,
yep,
what would happen? He'd get cut.
yep.
So I don't know. I think it would have been done a little bit better if he lost and the UFC still kept him inside. But I don't know. I don't know what's the UFC plans for Diego Sanchez actually.
No, man, it was.
I don't think that could happen because I was watching the highlights and I don't know. From watching the highlights and watching and looking at the scorecard, I believe that it's impossible that Ross Pearson lost.
Exactly, man. But it's crazy. You can,
Well, I guess it happens. I guess you have to understand that the fight was held in Diego Sanchez's hometown, and maybe the judge was his friend, or maybe one of them, just looked at the scorecard and just automatically gave it a 30-27 for Sanchez, and this kind of shit happens.
It's pretty shit, man. But anyways, what is not shit? Kampung Bandan, complex beli soon, and I was with.
Yeah, it was amazing actually.
It was fucking amazing, bro. We started off with a great fight. Safuan versus that kid. He does spinning shit. He can take you down effortlessly, and when he's on the ground, he have weapons.
Well, it is very true actually. Hang on a second. Let me just hang on. I dropped something. Give me a second. Okay, here I am. I'm actually looking at the card now. Okay, now with respects to the Kid Flash, Safuan Hassan, right? He trains out of Ultimate MMA Academy.
Yep.
And his opponent, Othman Yusuf, came out of Malacca MMA. And judging from this method, judging of the method, we've seen him armbar the guy. I'm looking at him on Sherdog right now. And I think he has a few finishes by way of knockout, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, exactly.
Let me just check him out on Sherdog. Now he's a Malaysian, not exactly big for a strawweight,
That's the thing.
and not much is known about the guy. And I do believe that he is going places, but only at the regional circuit.
Yes, exactly. The thing is, if this guy bulks up with the skills that he have, he could be.
Well, he could be somebody, but here's the thing. I fought in light heavyweight, I fought in middleweight, I fought in welterweight. And carrying that extra amount of weight is going to actually slow you down. You're not going to realize it, but it's going to slow you down tremendously, actually. And making and gaining that weight, I mean, lots of people are going to think that gaining the weight, going up a weight class is easy, but going up a weight class fat is easy for anyone, but going up a weight class effectively, being a heavyweight, but an effective heavyweight with the same concerns of cutting the weight, of maximizing your gains, and so on and so forth, and making sure that your cardio isn't affected is another different thing entirely. So Kid Flash, I believe that there's going to be a lot of good things I'm going to hear about him for the next few days. But in terms of seeing him go towards something like ONE FC, I don't think so.
Not yet.
Maybe most like 90% of these guys here, with the exception of maybe Jackson Lee and what's the name of the heavyweight champion? Zulhanizam.
Caliber Zune.
Yeah, maybe with the exceptions of these two guys, maybe, but I don't know. Judging from the level, I mean, we saw it for ourselves. The jiu-jitsu was rudimentary. I mean, a lot of these guys are YouTube white belts, are YouTube blue belts. A lot of these guys learn their grappling from like Henzo Gracie's online YouTube page, and so on and so forth. And that's the thing. In order for the Malaysian scene to actually progress forward, they have to embrace a lot of new different training styles.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I guess that's it for my input in terms of this Kid Flash guy actually.
But you have to start somewhere, isn't it?
Well,
You have to start somewhere, and
well, here's the thing. F37, as entertaining, and despite the fact that it had 100% finish rate, which is very, very, very great for an organization which actually had 26 to 30 fights. All right, it's a very good thing. But here's the thing: F3 has got to do something about the discrepancy of level between fighters. Yeah, you want you see, F3 is an entertainment show, right? They're more of, rather than all these guys who are technical fighters, so on and so forth. If you see, there are a lot of guys who are really technically sound. They push them up against really hard brawlers, really explosive guys, and yet you see some of these technical guys failing, some of them succeeding, and some of them not doing up to par. Uh, I believe that the F3 matchmaker did do a good job in terms of making all fights entertaining as possible.
Mhm.
But he didn't do much in terms of trying to grow the sport competitively.
Yeah, that's true, man. But the thing is, there's rankings and there's road to final, and I that we really see.
Well, it is a good thing. I mean, rankings. Personally, I've always thought rankings are shit. You know, you can't judge. You can never judge a fighter on how he's been fighting for the past 5 fights. I mean, it's going to give you a rough idea of how he's going to perform. But coming closer towards the fight, you're going to be thinking more about the things like, oh, how's his training camp been?
Yes,
Has he
exactly.
what's he been working on particularly for this fight? Because each fight is different. You cannot. I mean, you can always like, if I want to fight you, Wadi, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at your fights and I'm going to see how you've been doing for the past 3 fights.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm going to see what things that you like to do and things that you don't like to do. That's
Mhm.
one. Two, when you're coming closer and closer towards your fight camp is coming towards an end, that's why I start spying. I start asking my friends, hey, can you find out what Wadi does for his training and so on and so forth, so I can get a rough idea of what kind of advantages you have against me.
Uh-huh.
So I believe that more of the Malaysian fighters already have a rough idea of how to do how to do so and so and so, how to fight, how to prepare for a fight, what to do post fight, so on and so forth. But a lot of these guys, I believe, aren't exactly fighting intelligently. We do see, how to say, bursts of intelligence from most fighters,
Mhm.
from some of the fighters in F3, but the level of intelligence, MMA intelligence, isn't there yet.
Yeah, but with more events. And that was pretty amazing. I didn't expect that to happen just because so excited out of.
Like I said, there is a lot of things people need to learn. Uh, there's still a lot of things people have to learn, people have to embrace before they go inside there. Like for me, I when I was a young little fish, when I was a fresh fish in the water in the shark tank, right? A lot of the guys were telling me that you have to embrace the fact that you might get knocked out, you might get submitted, or you might get one of your arms and legs broken. Some of these guys don't embrace those kind of things. Some of these guys, in the case of the Beretta versus the nutrition, it's one of those things that people can never teach. How do you come back from a fight that you are losing? You've lost the first 2 rounds already, and your opponent is just beating the crap out of you. How do you come back? That's something that no amount of training, no amount of MMA mentality is going to prepare you for. And yeah, I give my hats off to Mr. Sean Sia from
MMA. Sales
Taylor's
martial.
MMA, Taylor's Martial Arts. He is working with. He had the opportunity to work with one of my boys. Not to say one of my boys directly, but he's a prospect from T-Rex. Really talented guy. Nice kid, young. His name is Muhammad the Engine Daniel, and the Engine has been working with these boys, and you can see based on the shallow armbar, which I think it was a little bit silly for Gerald Cock to tap to, but maybe we didn't see something, maybe something happened, we didn't recognize it, we didn't recognize the danger that he was in. So yeah,
Yeah, if Gerald just stack, he choose to pull his arm up. I feel that is the worst thing to do when you got in and out.
well, that's the thing. Even at the most highest level, let's take a look at John Jones versus Vitor Belfort, for instance. Okay, what happened in the first round? Belfort got him in an armbar, got it deep. and Jones had to muscle out of it. I mean, the most common thing at that level is for people to stack the shit out of you and escape. But that's the thing, Jones, like in that moment of panic, you just don't know what you're doing.
It just takes more mat time and more drill thing. Once you know that, oh, the guy on about coming dead. Zeus, Lim Xian, so much reps gonna go through, but it was actually being dominated in the second round. Swept, did a wonderful sweep.
Well, like I said before, that we don't follow fighters 24 hours a day, do we? We don't exactly what's the word for it? We don't follow their lifestyle. Some of them may have some really bad habits, and you never know. You never know truly for a fact that what type of fighter is gonna come out. The Zeus that fought in the lightweight ranking road to final against Naim Mazarat was a bit of a disappointing Zeus for me. He seemed pensive, a little bit wasn't his aggressive take the fight to your face kind of style, and I think Naim Mazarat recognized it, who is one of the more aggressive combatives fighter, and took the fight to Zeus. Luckily for Zeus, that he will manage to rally back and secure the TKO in the second round.
Exactly, man. And the next road to final. Come on, and took his back, dominating all the way. There was one point of time when Sam actually slapped him guard, and Dave face. There was so much panic in Dave face. It was good that he actually got the composure and in the and Dave actually uh told me, and he admitted that yes, he did panic.
Well,
So
here's the thing. You want to ask me a question? So how?
how do you think Dave face is?
Well,
What do you
Dave
think?
has. I know Dave. I know Dave on a personal level, but I'm not exactly close with him. Sparred with him a few times. Saw him perform. Saw him perform really well and saw him perform really bad. And here's the thing, Dave has always had this. Dave is one of those fighters that needs to know that he is winning the fight. Okay, like a guy like me, when I go into the fight, right? I go knowing that there's a big chance or a small chance. There's a set amount of chance that I might get knocked out or submitted. But I go into that fight knowing that. Dave, on the other hand, he wants to win badly. Okay. And when you have the confidence level of working with guys like Arnold Laponte and so on and so forth, really good professional fighters, right? It's going to give you a level of confidence that is going to be a little bit more than other guys. You know, I'm pretty sure that a combative gym fighter versus a guy that fights with one FC fight that trains at one FC fighter, who's going to have the more psychological edge? Of course, the guy that trains with the one FC fighters, right?
Exactly.
So that's the thing. Dave had that psychological edge until he got rocked. When he got rocked, he was the panic on the look on his face was more of, oh shit, how do I recover from this? Dave, I suppose, needs a little bit more uh, how to say, a little bit more cage time to evolve as a fighter. And I think that it's about time for Dave to be tested in deep, deep, deep waters.
Yeah, and he's gonna be tested by a very very tough opponent. Use.
Well, Zeus has really good striking. Zeus looked really good on the feet, and Dave, on the other hand, is more well-rounded, I suppose. I think Dave has a little bit more well-roundedness, but here's the thing. Arnold Lepon is in Saigon Sports Club now, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I mean, I was at T-Rex MMA today, and I did see how the training was done. I think Dave has a really good chance, but I think Dave will stand a bigger chance if he does a training camp with LePont or with any of the pro 1FC fighters.
Exactly, but I'm just
Well, I'll be there too, and I hope that you'll be able to have free time to commentate as well.
see Amir came my
Ah,
way.
yeah.
Yeah, I got in a rear naked choke with.
Well, here's the thing. Education-wise, in terms of MMA wise, a lot of these guys are uneducated. A lot of these guys have not been in the situations they have been. Uh, Amir, Amir, on the other hand, he's been in those situations before. He's been beaten up. He's been smashed around by some of the great ones. But his win. I mean, like, I'm not gonna take it away from him. He won against Boyka, who gave us a really good fight in the Warrior final. But yeah, I mean, it was a little bit of a lackluster. I expected Amir to finish the fight a lot more faster and didn't struggle as much. But I guess maybe that's age for you, I suppose.
Um, moving on to the
Wow, high kick. Yes. I'm at Fakhrul Izzat's page right now. He is now 7-2. 7-2. Hold on. Let me just. I believe that he needs another maybe 5 more fights in amateur. I think this guy is still trying to find his groove because I've seen him.
he
I've
lost
seen
to
him. Yes, and I believe that honestly, against Sebastian Cole, he was supposed to win that fight. The thing is, yes, was still new, and the thing about our dear friend here, Fakro, is that he has some really high level jiu-jitsu. Sorry, really high level judo, and he he only started to get that groove only towards Ultimate Beatdown 10. Sorry, Ultimate Beatdown 11. He he's a talented welterweight, very big, very explosive. His official score in Sherdog is 2-3, but I believe he's a little bit more than that. They didn't count some of his Myanmar fights and his F3 fights inside here. But the thing about this guy is that he's evolving. He's evolving into a more well-rounded fighter. I believe that he needs 3 to 5 more fights just to get his style going because I believe that he's using a lot of his explosiveness. He's using a lot of his natural talents and natural abilities as a fighter. His big size and his speed and so on and so forth. But I've never seen him as a fighter accommodate to a certain style, adapt, and counter that style.
yeah, man. I don't know much about the yeah skills that they use. I think there's still a long.
Well, of course, I mean the welterweight division is a very stacked division actually. In the local scene, I guess I would say that I'm the top welterweight right now. I'm not the most highest level welterweight, but I am one of the more intelligent ones. And if you give me someone within the regional circuit to fight me, well, it's going to be a bit hard for them because they haven't reached the maturity of the sport yet, like how I have, for instance. So
and
a lot
and
of
and, tha-
these,
and that's talking out of
I'm not talking out of humbleness. I'm talking that out of pure fact, my friend. I mean, I'm not saying. Look, I'm not saying that I'm the best. I'm the best in Southeast Asia. I'm the best here and there. I'm telling you straight up. They call me the top Malaysian welterweight for a reason, and I stayed up there because of my smarts, my good looks, and the fact that I finished my opponents.
like that. Start training with shots now.
Yes, exactly. The fact that I train with shots now has made me a better fighter. I wear pants now, bitches.
Okay, moving on to the
it
as
isn't good for
amateurs.
it isn't good for the development, but as a promoter or as a talent scout, you get to see how much these guys want it. I mean, you call it the Warrior Final Season 1. I'm not gonna. If you. Okay, like, if you put me up in this kind of thing, right? Let's say like I'm 0-0. I want my fight career to pick up speed. I
Mhm.
enter this thing, right? I would enter this thing knowing full well that I'm gonna be tested left, right, center, back, and it's not gonna be easy. Some of these guys entered the fight with thinking that it was gonna be fun and games. It's not. A fight is a fight. There's a big possibility that you're gonna get hurt in the fight. And now, it is a concern in terms of physical fitness and cardio. But you're a fighter. You're getting paid to fight, and you're scheduled to fight. So no matter what kind of excuse you give, you've got to be at the top of your game.
Exactly, man. But what one thing's for sure, it was entertaining as shit. We got
Oh
banana
yeah.
versus monkey.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ! I'm never gonna forget that shit. I can't believe I said that.
Choke small monkey at the end of
My
round
God, the
five.
banana fucked over the small monkey, huh?
And the welterweight final, Aizal Gout actually pulled off a capoeira spinning kick followed by.
Yeah, that's that's something only Malaysian MMA will give, my friend.
Moving on to
Yeah, but
serious stuff. Middleweight title bout, and this is what I like. Moving title bouts to 5 3-minute rounds so that when they go to the pros, they are a bit adjusted. We have the first.
wait, right?
When Melvin Tam was in Mount, top of Fouzein, corner Fouzein from NFC fight, was shouting base, was shouting base, but Melvin Tam.
Well, uh, here's where tunnel vision comes into mind. Yeah. Speaking from my own experience as well, when a fighter finds success with a certain technique, right, or he's finding a success with what he's doing right now, he's gonna stick to what he's doing. Why fix something if it ain't broke, right? I mean, that's the general consensus for most of us. But here's the thing: MMA is all about adapting. I believe that people always say that, oh, MMA is about heart, it's about this, it's about that, it's about being well rounded. No, it's not. It's about adapting towards the situation, making the most out of the situation, and making do with whatever weapons you have and using those weapons to your advantage against your opponent. Melvin Tam had an advantage. He used that advantage. But Ruzaidi Black Balboa managed to do the turnaround. Even though the stoppage was controversial, and I didn't agree with the stoppage. I expected them to fight, but Melvin Tam retired from
Mhm.
the fight, and this only proves to me one thing, that we are gonna have to stop letting everyone fight. This isn't. I mean, like, to quote Mimma, right? And
Uh huh.
now everyone can fight, right?
Yeah.
When everyone wants to fight,
Uh huh.
right? There's gonna be certain sacrifices that we have to make.
Exactly.
Okay, we can't fit 100 people to fight in one night.
That's true.
So some of these guys, like me and guy A, B, and C. Okay, how much do I want to fight? I want to fight because it means the world to me. It's the only thing I know, is the only thing that makes sense to me. How much does guy A, B, and C want to fight? We won't know how much I want to fight, how much guy A, B, and C want to fight, because it's a subjective thing.
Mhm.
Why they fight also is a subjective thing. But this is the reason. This is the thing. You've got to really break your boys before they fight, and also, it's a bit embarrassing to be able to be winning but you give up. It's just a bit sad.
Yeah, it is, man. But
Uh,
but being in the ring is you being. That's the
Oh, I disagree with that. I disagree with that wholly. Why? The most easiest way to believe to know whether you look, you don't fight. You don't fight because you want the experience. You don't fight because you want to try it out. You fight because you want to win. I fight because I want to win. I want to go in there. I want to give it my all and fight. Even if I lose that fight, if I know I've given it my all, right, I have no qualms with walking with my head down and my opponent's hand raised because I know I did a good job. These guys, on the other hand, some of these guys don't even spar. Some of these guys, when they get hit, they shy away. They're scared. Okay, and it sucks because it shows us that a lot of these guys just want kerja senang, easy job.
Mhm.
Find a guy that is easy to fight, and that's it. Learn how to punch the bag a bit, learn how to kick. Train once a week. And yeah, I'm a MMA fighter. We've got a lot of guys. We've got a lot of guys in the Malaysian MMA scene now. Like I know a few guys. I'm not gonna quote who, but I know a few guys. Some of them fought on this card before. Okay. Some of them, very fast to carry my balls, very fast to come up to me and say, "Oh, yeah, make sure you watch my fight, please, And when they fight, what happens? I mean,
But
I'm
this
not expecting.
the thing is, it's not only a viral infection in your amateur scene, even in the pro scene. You should know. I'm not gonna quote any names as well. One guy got soccer kicked twice in the biggest stage of them all. Soccer kicked twice and twice by the
Yeah,
same opponent twice, and he's out and he's not fighting anymore.
yeah. Well, I know who exactly you're talking about. Well, it's everywhere, yeah. But the thing is, right? You don't come up. You don't come up as. I mean, if you want to fight, you fight. If you wanna be a poser of a bitch, right? And just wanna have the name of a fighter, fuck it. Just fight. The thing is that if you wanna do it properly. Okay? Like, I'm not the best example of a fighter, okay? I do a lot of things that most fighters don't do. But when I train, when I have a fight, I make sure that okay, it's time to turn on. It's time to like, okay, no more fucking around, I can have fun and all that, yeah, but it's time to make this my bitch. That's a spirit that most Malaysian fighters don't have. Okay, I'm not saying the high caliber fighters that are my batch and onwards. I'm saying the new generation of fighters now. They all believe that they kick the bag once or twice. They don't go Shark Tank. They spar with shittier guys and all that. They get it.
All right, advice to all Malaysian fighters.
Yeah,
Punch, how to take a punch, and that's
exactly. Yep, exactly.
him back from the dead, and even take three overhand rights and just slap his own chin and told his opponent, "Come, I want more. I can take more." Basically,
That's
because
what.
I think that he's
Well, that's the thing. Golden Boy, in terms of the light heavyweight title bout, impressed me because it shows that Golden Boy worked. Golden Boy didn't shy away from the punches. He embraced the fact that he might have gotten knocked out to give a slugfest of a fight against Unstoppable. And the thing is, in terms of my advice for Malaysian fighters and Singaporean fighters, stop thinking that how to say that just because you hit the bag, just because you are doing this and doing that means that you're a fighter. You're not. A real fighter fights through pain, fights through injury, gives up, sacrifices so many things. If you have gotten where you are without sacrificing much, you are not a fighter. If you have been through where you are, right? If you are where you are without experiencing not even the smallest hint of danger in a fight, you are not a fighter. I mean, like, it's unfair for me to say this. I mean, like, even the most dominant fighters in the world have lost. Even the most dominant fighters in the world have been dominated before. And even the most dominant fighters in the world, world champion, doesn't matter whether you're Anderson Silva or whether you're Chris Weidman, they get their asses kicked daily in training. And that's the thing. That's the thing that you need. You need a slice of humble pie. You need someone bigger than you, faster than you, stronger than you, better than you to put your ass to the ground and get your ego in check. That's the problem with a lot of local Malaysian MMA fighters and Singaporean MMA fighters. They let their ego get in the way. They think that, oh, I'm an MMA fighter. I got the body, I got the looks. Immediately things are gonna happen. It doesn't work that way.
Totally doesn't work that way. We're talking about heart. There's so much heart shown by even big country Yeoh in the heavyweight title.
Wow. Yes.
Is Zul. You want to talk about fighters heart? This is the fight to watch. Zulhanizam got Steven in Americana like 3 times, and twice, I'm telling you, twice, his hands look gonna pop off his shoulder, and Steven was just stubborn as and tap.
Oh yeah. I mean, like, Steven comes from one of the hardest camps in Kuala Lumpur, in Malaysia, and it's Ultimate MMA Academy. UMA. The thing is, these guys don't know how to spar easy. I was there. I saw these guys spar before I had my fight with Brad Robinson 2-3 years ago, and wow, I saw Zeus beating the shit out of someone, and the guy was cut open and stuff. He had to stop fighting, but the guy actually got up, wanted to continue sparring. And I mean,
Oh,
that's just a spirit that no gym can teach. Like, no person can teach. It's something that comes. It's something that comes with years and months of shark tanks and sparring and being able to get confident with whatever techniques that you have. So it's something like.
yeah, it is something, man. Like,
Well, that's the thing. You get a prospect like Zulhanizam to fight against a guy that's experienced, is as experienced and as large as Steven Yeoh. We get to see Zulhanizam. This was, I think, the hardest fight for Nizam.
yes,
He There was a moment, like, I've seen him fight many times, and this was the first time I've seen a little bit of unsureness in his face. I've never seen Nizam, how to say, look so. I've seen him fight in Myanmar and all that. He's very methodical. He'll be like, okay, if this doesn't work, I'll go to this. If this doesn't work, I'll go to this. If this doesn't work, I'll go to this. In his fight against Big Country, many times he was on the ground with Steven. Got swept by Steven a couple of times. He looks to his corner with such worry.
mm-hmm.
Maybe how to say, maybe he wasn't as worried as most of us would think, but there was a slight look of worry in his eyes that made me think, wow, he knows that he knows that this isn't going to be an easy fight for him.
Mm-hmm.
And he proved us all wrong. He proved his critics and naysayers wrong. He proved me, not to say he proved me wrong, but he proved to me and to himself that he is ready to take the bigger step forward.
Exactly. Cut to 90 kilos, man. This guy had a guy who is almost 10 kilos heavier than him. He swept Steven Yeoh a couple of times.
Multiple times, easily, actually, very easily. One of the more technically sound heavyweights in the heavyweight category. And let me tell you something, there ain't many technically sound heavyweights in the heavyweight division, mind you, in Malaysian category. But yeah, Zulhanizam has a really bright future ahead of him, and I believe that this guy is gonna make waves in light heavyweight once he finally cuts.
100 kilos just cut to 90. I would love to see. Very good single takedown. Very good Americanas, can pull off armbars, pull off a lot of weapons in it. Would wish to see him fight a bit.
Well, Well, Zulhanizam has always relied on his judo game in the clinch and his jiu-jitsu at the bottom, and his jiu-jitsu on top to finish his opponent. So, I think he's gonna take advantage of it because he knows for a fact that as a heavyweight, he's one of the more higher caliber ranked opponents in terms of his skill set. So I believe that as long as he doesn't fight a guy like Adrian Tam,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we're gonna see him stand very much. And whatever amount of standing that he does, here's the thing: Zulhanizam is very confident on the ground. He was dominating his opponent in Myanmar on the feet, throwing spinning kicks, throwing front kicks, side kicks, all kinds of kicks.
Mm-hmm.
But still, he shot for the takedown. Why? It's because that's where he's comfortable.
Exactly. Don't fix what is
Yeah, don't fix what is broken.
what is not broken.
That one is definitely not broken.
Right, moving on to the disappointing. I feel it was a bit and
Well, Trestle Tan came late. He was late and he didn't get to, and I couldn't give him the safety briefing. So it was partly kind of my fault. So instead of giving Trestle, who is very sad to say 1-3, I think. Yeah. So instead, like I know what it's like. I know what it's like to come all the way here. You fight and you get into a situation where you didn't mean to do so, but you weren't told not to. So Fouzein came up to me, looked
yeah.
at me, and said, "Nick, how?" And I was like, "Fuck, why are you putting this on me?" I was like, "Shit, now I gotta make the decision." I was like, "Fuck, he's my teammate, but I don't like the guy." He's my teammate. I don't like the guy. He's nice, but fuck it. You know what? Let's just make it a no contest. Then my friend's like, "Is it because this guy's from Wayfit?" It's like, no, it's not because this guy's from Wayfit. I don't like the guy. I just want it to be a no contest. I want it to be a no contest because I want these two guys to fight again.
Bro, props to you for yes.
Well, I am. Look, the fight scene is what it is. It is the scene. Okay. I don't pull any punches. I tell you what it is. I'll tell you what it isn't. I don't believe I don't believe that we should be like a certain MMA publications that favor a certain fighter or that favor a certain promotion or that only will list the pros of one promotion but will not list its cons, things like that.
I understand, man. All right, moving on.
Mahmoud Kamal. Yes. Well, the first thing he should do to win the fight is just run away. The first minutes, the first few minutes, run away because the guy hits like a fucking truck. Okay. I mean, like, I'm not the most highest level fighter, but I do know for a fact that if you can, if you can put a person down on the ground with such an explosive strike, right? It means that you have something there, right? I mean, it means that you're doing something right with your fight with your fighting style. And if you can put me down on the ground, then it should be said that I'm a little bit higher level than Jun Minion is. So it should be said that this Mahmoud Kamal will most probably have an easy fight. But then Trestle did impress me in his fight against Hisamuddin. He showed that he was a little bit more patient, a little bit more tools in his product, and his boxing is getting a bit better. I believe that if he doesn't get into a brawl with Mahmoud Kamal, and he keeps it technical, he wins. I
Exactly.
believe that if he stays away from the explosiveness and he circles out well, covers up well, and throws his punches within the pocket when he comes in, he can win.
Okay, man. Moving on. The next.
Yeah, he was a Mima finalist. He was the number one contender for the belt. Lost the decision against Kenny Yap. Yeah. Well, so he's been the distance before, and Kenny Yap, Kenny Up isn't one of the guys that is known to knock people out, but he does have some sting in his punches. And Ngeoh is a jiu-jitsu fighter, and Ngeoh now has been working primarily on his striking, extensively on his striking, and extensively on his jiu-jitsu and wrestling. So I believe that this fight is going to be a good fight. It's going to be a competitive fight, but I don't see Susovan Ghosh winning by a mile away. And this is me speaking as a neutral, by the way.
But basically, they actually fought
Yes, both.
one.
Oh, Susovan won that fight. I thought it was a draw. Okay.
I thought Susovan won it.
Well, Susovan Ghosh has fought guys, some really high level guys. He's fought Radim Rahman. He's fought some really good guys. But here's the thing: this is MMA. This isn't no gi.
Yes.
So how is Susovan Ghosh going to handle it when he has an elbow driven across his face or a knee thrown from the clinch against him against the cage? How is he going to handle that? So we'll have to wait to find out.
And moving on to another Malaysian on X1 FC fighters, and he's going to fight. Yes, I don't know how good George is. I kind of know that.
Oh, I expect Fouzein to do his Hulk impersonation after the fight again. You know, Fouzin's a killer. Fouzin's a crazy bastard. The only thing that's stopping Fouzein from being a really great fighter is the fact that he doesn't have the tools to progress. Fouzein has this unlucky trait of not to say unlucky trait. Fouzein has this unlucky predicament where he's in Malacca MMA, and compare it with Johor, compare it with Singapore, compare it with KL. The Malacca MMA scene isn't exactly tip top, and he doesn't have access to the training that people in Johor, people in Kuala Lumpur have. But because of that, though, he still finds success. Why? Because he is wild, he's unpredictable, and he goes in there to fight. I mean, Malacca MMA boys, when they fight, they fight. They get in there, to scrap. And I expect a scrappy, messy fight from Fouzein. So yeah.
All right, let's look at the. Yeah. Alex the Blur. Listen.
Oh. We'll talk about that fight. Wow.
Okay, I think in he roll with then way where I got my ass kicked. Where do you think? How do you think that will go?
I don't know how this fight is gonna go actually. I mean, it's Alex the Blur, you know, and Alex the Blur has always been entertaining to me. I love the guy, you know, like, I mean, it takes a very interesting character to call yourself the Blur, you know, and it's not because he moves really fast that he's a blur, you know. It's because he really is the Blur, you know, Alex the Blur. And Wadi, no offense to you, I mean, like, I think you're a cool guy and all that. And Alex the Blur versus Wadi is gonna be a fight, but I can't give how to say a definitive answer because one, I saw Alex the Blur get smashed, and two, you're fighting for the first time, so I really don't know much about it. I think that this fight is gonna be all over the place. I think that Alex is gonna do his crazy blur thing, and he's gonna look confused as hell in the cage. And you're gonna do, I think maybe you might do a slightly better because of the shark tanking and all that. But you know, like I said, MMA can happen. You have a puncher's chance. So does Alex the Blur.
Yeah, I was talking to Melvin on F3, and you know, until now, if you ask me to put money on,
I don't dare as well, my friend. I don't. If you ask me to bet my life on this fight, I would bet my life on all the other fights except yours.
Evolve MMA's Benedict Ang versus Dinesh Jared Sundram from T-Rex MMA. I believe Dinesh won some tough enough competition.
Oh, yes, he did. He won 10,000 ringgit for being
Oh.
tough enough. Yep.
how do you think he would fare against of
Well, just because one, clarify, just because you're from a high level gym doesn't mean you yourself is high level.
exactly?
Okay, so let's get this is just another guy from another gym.
Okay.
Okay, so Benedict Ang versus Dinesh.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna be a good fight. This is gonna be a test for Dinesh, and we know Dinesh has heart.
Mm-hmm.
We know Dinesh can take a punch. Dinesh fought against the Kalai, Effendi Kalai,
Mm-hmm.
in the previous F3. Not the one that just passed, but the previous one before that. And we saw Dinesh take a crazy amount of punishment, but still answer the bell at the third round. Now, is Benedict a striker like Kalai? We will never know until we find out.
No,
But I believe that
Benedict is
Benedict is more of a grappler. That's where Dinesh might have an advantage because he actually did fairly well. He did fare the storm that was the consistent storm that was the Kalai brother. That was Effendi Kalai. But the thing is, I don't know Dinesh's game well. I don't know what is he going to do in this fight. So this fight might be I'm gonna give it like two ways. It's either Dinesh wins by decision or Benedict wins by submission.
there's a fair analysis. We have a bit Tan with women's MMA.
Yeah.
Tan is
Of course I do. I mean, like Samantha Tan is one of my favorite ladies in the gym. I love disturbing her. She's such a sweet girl, such a lovely person to talk to, but also she's one of the more crazier ones, if you know what I mean. She's a wushu exponent. She's 17 years old this year. She's young and she has a very good work ethic. There's never a time where I see her on her butt. You know what I mean? On her butt and sitting down. She works harder than me, and I believe that it's only a matter of time before she gets picked up and just wow.
so you think she's gonna run?
I don't think she's gonna run through Andrea Tan because yet again, it's MMA. Andrea Tan has a puncher's chance of winning, but I believe that the chances of Samantha Tan winning against Andrea Tan is a lot more higher than most people would think.
Successful ladies anyway. So I think that you guys got another one is this girl is hot, like hot as fuck. Really,
Well, I believe that Anne Osman, with respects to her, I think Anne Osman is one of the more beautiful and talented and how to say, the more warm personality. With respect to Samantha, let's just say that she does win this fight big and she becomes a superstar and all that. Samantha isn't as friendly with the camera and she's a little bit more shy than Anne. So
and
I
that's
don't
where
think
you.
that. What do you mean? That's where I come in. Oh. I like that idea, but the thing is, well, I get my camera skills naturally. It's just something that comes naturally. So it's something you can't teach some people. Some people just don't like to be in front of the camera, and Samantha is one of them. Samantha is a very marketable girl, pretty, smart, beautiful, speaks well, nice personality, but she will not want to embrace that kind of thing. She's a simple girl that wants to fight. So I believe that if you just give her chances to fight, the marketability will come on its own.
All right, man. Any other guys you like to talk about? You
Let me check. Where is this? Is the card? Where's the pro card? Jesus Christ! Let me open the page right here. Where is it? Here it is. So we've talked about amateur MMA already, the ones that we know lah, right? Let's look at pro MMA then. Let's start with Andy Teh and Nizam White Tiger Rahman.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, Andy Teh is a taekwondo exponent. I think he represented the country or the state for taekwondo, high level black belt. So you're gonna see a very different style of kicking and punching from the Elite's MMA product. And we have against him in the excuse me, in the opposing corner is Nizam White Tiger Rahman. I've seen Nizam fight. I think Andy Teh has more weapons, but Nizam's a little bit more explosive. Andy Teh is experiencing a little bit of cage rust, hasn't fought in about a year and a half. So Nizam could use that to his advantage to smash Andy Teh. But I believe that Andy Teh has more weapons on the feet and on the ground, and I think he's going to edge out a nice little TKO victory in the second round.
Right, man. Great. You'll be there next
I
week.
don't think I'll be there next week, but I'll be around. I'll be watching from home. So yeah,
You're watching from home.
yeah, bro. When they have the streaming thing, right?
No, they don't.
Oh, they don't have the streaming thing anymore.
No.
Fuck.
Yeah, you have to
That's
be down. I thought you
no, I mean, as much as I want to be down, I've been invited to come down to Johor for a lot. The people in Johor love me for some reason. I can't because one is because I'm lazy to go down. It's a fucking long trip, and I hate long trips.
Well, thanks for being honest, Nick, and thanks for being so what do you have next week?
I do have a few photo shoots to do. Got a tune talk thing to do, and a few more things actually. Quite a few things.
Thank you for big. If you time you got to see, I'll be putting.
Oh yeah, definitely.
MMA fighter. So we are also anticipating that as well. And of course, if you come out on something that's
Well, the thing is, a lot of people. The reason why I'm doing this, the reason why I'm contributing, is because I I am a prime example of the side of MMA that people don't see. People always assume that guys get inside the cage, they fight and stuff. That there's a certain type of guy, you know. Like, can I say it's safe to say that Wadi, you've never met an MMA fighter like Nik Harris before, have you?
yeah, that's true.
Exactly. That's the thing.
Exactly.
Each MMA fighter is different. Each MMA fighter carries a different style, a different approach towards working their way through. And the reason why I want to do all these articles and give my insight is because that I am, I love the sport. I really love the sport. I love the drama behind it. I love the gossiping. I love everything about it. And I'm honest. I'm not the type of guy that's gonna rub their balls and tell you, oh, it's like this, it's like this, it's like this. I'm gonna tell you straight up. It's just like a slap to your face, bitch. It's like this.
Yeah.
It is like this. It is the way it is. If you want to enter this kind of scene, these are the people that you have to look out for. These are the people you have to watch out for, and these are the things that you have to do and don't have to do. It's as simple as that.
Exactly, man. Exactly, man. All right. Thank you so much for being on the show, Nick. And thank Fred. Well, hopefully we can get Chef Borges next week on, and
All right.
of course our crazy man, Marion.
All right. I love Suman's. A little bit sad that that I don't hear Suman's crazy voice now.
Everyone loves Suman.
Right. Thank you guys. Bye bye.